Hey everyone, welcome back to English Vibe, the place where we dive deep into beautiful stories that touch your heart and help you feel the language naturally. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Imagine this, a young guy named Alex, living in a small town in the Midwest back in the early 2000s. He was in his mid-20s, working a dead-end job at a local warehouse, stacking boxes from dawn till dusk. Every day felt the same. Wake up, drag himself to work, come home exhausted, crash on the couch with some takeout and TV. He had dreams once, Back in high school, he wanted to be a writer, maybe even travel the world, see places he'd only read about in books. But life got in the way. Bills piled up, friends moved away, and somehow, those big dreams just faded into the background. Alex wasn't unhappy exactly. He had a few buddies he grabbed beers with on weekends, a decent apartment, and his family was close by. But deep down, there was this nagging feeling, like something was missing. He'd scroll through social media late at night, back when it was just starting to blow up, and see people posting about their adventures, their successes, their lives that seemed so full. And he'd think, why not me? What's stopping me? One rainy afternoon, after a particularly rough shift where his boss chewed him out over nothing, Alex stopped at a little coffee shop on his way home. It was one of those cozy places with mismatched chairs and bookshelves lining the walls. He grabbed a black coffee and sat in the corner, staring out the window at the downpour. That's when an older man, probably in his 70s, sat down at the table next to him. The guy had a warm smile, silver hair, and eyes that sparkled like he'd seen a thing or two. The man noticed Alex looking kinda down and struck up a conversation. "Rough day, son?" he asked. Alex shrugged and said, "Yeah, work sucked." They got to talking, and before long, Alex was spilling his guts about the job he hated, the dreams he'd shelved, how he felt stuck. The old man listened quietly, nodding now and then. When Alex finished, the man leaned back and said, I was just like you once. 40 years ago, I was in a factory job, married young, kids on the way. I dreamed of starting my own business, something with woodworking. I loved building things with my hands. But I told myself it was too risky. What if I fail? I'd say. What if I lose everything? So I stayed put, year after year. He paused, sipping his coffee. Then one day my wife got sick. Real sick. Cancer. We fought it hard, but she passed within a year. Holding her hand in that hospital room, she looked at me and said, "Don't wait, Harold. Life's too short to wonder what if." That hit me like a ton of bricks. Alex leaned in, hanging on every word. The man, Harold, continued. "After she was gone, I was lost. Grief does that to you." But her words stuck with me. I quit my job at 45, took the little savings we had, and started a small furniture shop in my garage. People thought I was crazy. "You're too old," they said. "The economy's bad." But I didn't listen. I worked nights and weekends, learning as I went, making mistakes, fixing them. He smiled, remembering. The first few years were tough, barely scraped by. But slowly, word got around. My pieces were solid, handmade with care. Customers came back, referred friends. I hired a couple guys to help. Before I knew it, I had a real store downtown. Traveled to buy wood from different places, even took a trip to Europe to see old craftsmanship up close. lived more in those next 20 years than in the 40 before. Harold looked Alex straight in the eye. The thing is, regret isn't about the things you try and fail at. It's about the things you never try. That fear of failing? It's nothing compared to the pain of looking back and realizing you played it safe your whole life. Alex sat there, stunned. They talked a bit more about little things, but those words burned into him. When Harold left, he shook Alex's hand and said, "Go make something happen, kid. You've got time. I didn't start till I was almost 50. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He paced his apartment, thinking about what Harold said. The next day, he did something small but huge. He pulled out an old notebook from high school, full of half-written stories, and started writing again. Just a page, then another. It wasn't easy. He kept his job for stability, but evenings and weekends became his time. He wrote short stories, posted them online on free sites. Got some feedback, good and bad. Improved. Read books on writing, watched videos, joined online communities. Months turned into a year. He entered contests, got rejected a bunch, but kept going. Then, one story caught attention, a piece about loss and second chances, inspired by Harold. It got published in a small online magazine. That felt incredible. Encouraged, he outlined a full book, worked on it steadily, chipping away. 2 years later, at 27, Alex quit his warehouse job. He'd saved enough from side gigs, freelance writing that started trickling in, and self-published his first novel. It wasn't a bestseller overnight, but it sold steadily. Readers connected with it. Reviews poured in, saying it moved them, inspired them. He started a blog about chasing dreams later in life, sharing his journey. People reached out, thanking him for the motivation. He spoke at local events, traveled to book signings in nearby cities. Life opened up in ways he never imagined. Years passed. Alex became a successful author, with several books out, even optioned one for a movie. He moved to a bigger city, met someone amazing, built a life full of purpose. But he never forgot that rainy day in the coffee shop. One afternoon, decades later, Alex was in a bookstore signing copies. An older man approached, smiling that same warm smile. It was Harold, now in his 90s, frail but sharp as ever. They hugged like old friends. Harold whispered, "See? Told you." Alex teared up. "You changed everything for me." Harold chuckled. "Nah, you changed it for yourself. I just reminded you what you already knew. And that's the truth of it. We all have those moments, conversations, experiences that shake us awake. But it's up to us to act, to take that first step, even when it's scary. Because waiting for the perfect time, it never comes. Life's happening right now. Alex's story isn't about overnight success. It's about persistence, about choosing to believe in yourself when no one else does, about turning what if into why not. If you're listening to this, feeling that pull towards something more, a dream you've pushed aside, a change you've been avoiding, know this, it's not too late. Start small. Today, write that page, make that call, take that class. The regrets we carry aren't from falling down. They're from never getting up to run. You have the power to rewrite your story, just like Alex did, just like Harold did. And who knows, maybe one day, you'll be the one inspiring someone else in a coffee shop on a rainy day. Thanks for spending this time with me today on English Vibe. If this story touched you or made you think, let me know in the comments. See you in the next one. Take care.